Hey guys, Dylan Sider here, and today I'm going to be making a video about scribing and the three main ways that I like to scribe material. So stay tuned. So what is scribing? Scribing is fitting any finished material up against an uneven surface. So say a wall is crooked and you're fitting a countertop and you don't want to have any gaps, you would have to scribe it. Or if you're putting a piece of trim up against stone, that would be something that you need to scribe, or if a ceiling is at a level, things like that. The first scribing technique I want to talk about is Old Faithful.
Old Faithful!
The compass, the one that you can buy at any lumber yard or Home Depot or Lowe's, and probably 95% of you guys that are watching this probably have one kicking around. I probably have 3 of these kicking around. They come in very handy, and I recently did a job where I was using this a ton, so we're going to talk about this a little more while I do that job and show some footage of it. So a little context to this job. The flooring that was chose was a natural slate product, which has a lot of deviation up and down. So I'm having to scribe all the baseboard to the floor and the whole main floor. And a good way to start off is by ripping your board to a 30 degrees, so it makes it easier to scribe. You don't have to take off as much material. So you see me here, I'm using an angle grinder with a sanding disc on it, which I'll show a better shot of it in one of the upcoming clips. Unlike a circular saw or planer, you can get in really tight areas and take out a lot of material close together. So that's why I chose this method. Right here you can see me grind right down to that line and take out probably 3/8 of an inch at a very sharp angle. So that's why I chose this method. So I've heard this talked about many times in construction. There's 3 aspects: cheap, fast, and quality. If it's cheap and fast, it's probably not going to be quality. If it's fast and it's quality, it's probably not going to be cheap. And cheap and quality is a rare one. You may have to wait forever, so it's not going to be fast because you'll probably need a recession to get a quality carpenter cheap. And why I think this applies to scribing is I think a lot of people like to show off how tight their scribe is and how perfect it is, but you have to balance that. How long did it take you? I think if you give any carpenter an infinite amount of time, they can make something look perfect. But you have to keep the budget in mind, and is it costing the homeowner a ridiculous amount of money to have you scribe that thing perfect? There's always give and take in a situation like that. So how a compass works is you're setting the distance from the pin to the pencil lead to your largest gap in your board, and you are tracing the profile of the floor onto your baseboard, as the example here, trying to keep that pin as tight to the floor as possible and getting all the contours traced onto the board so that you can cut it to that line and have a nice fitting board.
second method of scribing I wanted to talk about today is this fancy tool that Jonathan from Quickscribe sent me. I'm going to link this in the bottom of this video. And this is a very cool little tool that you can adjust in and out for how much you need to scribe off. And the pencil is also adjustable in and out. And then you can lock it into place with this nut. It's a pretty cool design. You're gonna see in the next few clips here, me using it to scribe a bench into a wall. Yeah, came in very handy. So we're gonna talk about that next. Oh, thank goodness. Thing is massive. I was like, something's wrong, but I didn't realize it's massive. Which sucks, I gotta rip it. Because I just was like, oh, I need this much till the end. Yeah, it's super long.
So it's crucial to check each end of your countertop overhang to make sure that you're running parallel to the cabinet before you scribe it, so that when it fits nice and tight to the wall, it has an equal overhang on the front of your cabinet. So that's what I was doing there. So getting into the next tool here, the Quickscribe. It did not do well on the slate floor. I tried it. It does not have a very sharp point to get into very distinct areas and quick jogs in the plane. But it works really well for long gradual scribes like this, where there's gradual humps in a wall, or even in baseboard, more to like hardwood or LVT, where you may need to scribe gradual humps. It has a really nice big base on it to ride along the floor or the wall, and makes it really foolproof to get a nice, accurate, tight fit to something.
Eating blueberries. Quiet on the set. All right, the third scribing technique I want to talk about is mag shims from FastCap. You can buy them on Amazon, or you can just buy them from their website. You've seen me use these in my videos with blue tape and the knife attachment that comes with it. You can kind of set your depth and cut the tape. So we'll talk about that next. It's called a FastCap mag shim. So these are all magnets that stick together. You find the right depth you want, and then you just use a scoring knife on a piece of tape, run it along the wall, and then peel the tape off, and it gives you an exact line of how the wall contours. So right like this, then you just cut your tape all the way along like this, and then you peel the side of the tape, and it gives you the line. So then it just and there's your scribe. Cut that off. So I just track sawed it off, and so you see a little white there. I just stayed back from my line a little bit, and then I'm just gonna belt sand it to fit there. Josh has this DeWalt cordless belt sander. The thing is wicked. Bob's your uncle, you gotta scribe. There you go. Proof is in the pudding. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting one of those.
What's that?
So in that video, I didn't actually own the mag shims yet. I was borrowing a friend's to do that work, and since have bought a set of mag shims, and they came out with an updated version that has a blade storage built in. You just use a utility blade on one of these mag shims, and it just clips on there, and you can choose your thickness and just use the built-in knife to do your scribing. Yeah, so that is the new version, and it works great. I like the upgrade they did to it there. All right, so in conclusion, as the old timers would say, there is more than one way to skin a cat. You need multiple tools for the same job. They all kind of serve their purpose and do something better than others. So these were my 3 favorites. Hopefully you picked up a few tips and tricks and maybe found a new tool that you can try in the field. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.